All right, y'all, man. It's your boy Humble Elite 2 times for me. Back in the video, man. For me, follow the Instagram at Humble Elite 2 times. Now, look, y'all spent this time talking about the ancient ones. Now, look, for today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Most High in general for everything. I'm also giving a huge shout out to myself as well for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a huge shout out to everyone and to y'all. Y'all literally take time and energy out of y'all's day to come rock me, show love, support. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all so much more than love always. I'm also giving a shout out to Rashad Jamal for definitely helping me and inspiring me to make this video. Y'all can follow his YouTube at Divine Insight, and his other YouTube channel is Rashad Jamal. And his YouTube, just type in on one of those Instagrams. You can just look at it off of his YouTube. But yeah, shout out to God, shout out to everybody. Also, I'm sending good positive energy towards everyone. If you want to do a one-on-one call with me, just DM me at Humble Elite 2 times. Disclaimer: if you don't want to hear about the truth, if you don't want to hear more about the truth, if you feel like you're not ready to hear about the truth, if you feel like you're not ready to hear more about the truth, then you may want to go ahead and click off this video now. Respectfully, all due respect. Now let's go ahead and get ready to the video. So look, us, like a lot of us are ancient ones, right? But what do I mean by ancient ones, right? What I mean by ancient ones is that you have a lot of ancient souls. It's a lot of ancient souls on this planet right now, right? So a lot of us, right, have been on this planet many times. A lot of us have reincarnated back down here many times, right? So this is why some people may be very fascinated with certain Marvel characters or certain DC characters, because you may have actually been these characters or similar. You may have been similar to these characters in some of your past lives, right? That may be the case. So, you know, you might want to pay attention to the characters that you like so much, right? Because you might actually have some type of power or some type of similar power to what that or the exact power of that person or that character that you like so much, right? So you might just want to keep that in mind. You see what I'm saying? So the ancient ones, right? Who are the ancient ones, right? A lot of us have ancient souls, y'all. A lot of us have been down here on this planet multiple times, y'all. See, like I've been telling y'all, man, us black people, we are not black, y'all. We are goddesses and gods, y'all. So a lot of us, man, we got souls, right? So a lot of us, man, we done already been down here on this planet multiple times. Just when we get down here, right, what they do is that they try to lock off our memories. What I mean by they try to lock off our memories is that they try to, excuse me, what I mean by they try to lock off our energy. I mean, what I mean by they try to lock off our memories is that they try to lock our memories, right? So what I mean by that is that they try to make it seem like this is our first time being alive, right? So they're really big on pushing that movement like one life only, YOLO. Some people have one life only, right? But not everybody has one life. If you are a black person, if you are a god and you have a soul, if you are a goddess and you have a soul, you do not have one life. You have infinite lives. You literally cannot die, literally. But what I want y'all to understand and overstand is that they try to erase our memories at birth, right? See, a lot of us don't even remember a lot of us don't even remember being born. Like, it's only a few people. It's not a whole lot of people it's not a whole lot of people who remember when they was born. A lot of people don't even remember when they was on this planet till they were like about what, 3, 4, 5, you see what I'm saying? So they tried to make us forget who we are. They tried to make us forget our past lives, right? Which they did this with, distractions, sentient programmings, using technology, etc., doing magic, etc., doing witchcraft, doing these things to basically harm us in negative aspects and negative ways. So they try to make it harder for us to remember our past lives. But because we are so powerful, and once again, we are goddesses and gods, so even though they tried to erase our memories, a lot of us are starting to regain our memories. What I mean by regain our memories is that we're starting to remember our memories, y'all. You feel me? They try to take our memories, right? But the thing is, you can't necessarily like take somebody's memories. I mean, you can, but at the same time, you can't, because it's like, if you got a soul, anything you've experienced, it's like, it's a part of you in a way, but at the same time, it's not a part of you. What I mean by this is that, yeah, it's not a part of you, but at the same time, it is, because like, anything your soul experiences, it's like a part of you in a way. What I mean by that is that like, it's kind of hard to explain verbally, especially with these languages that they gave us, but like, it's more so like, it's not a part of you, but at the same time it is, because whatever you experience, it's kind of like, maybe it's kind of like a part of your soul now, because your soul remembers everything you've experienced. Your soul remembers it. You may not remember it off the top of your head, but your soul, you are the soul, you remember it though. You feel me? So a lot of us are very ancient beings. A lot of us are head leaders with certain tribes, etc., princes, kings, queens, etc., right? And we're way much more than a king and a queen. We are goddesses and gods, right? We are sun gods. We are extraterrestrial beings, you feel me? So us ancient ones, right, they look at us from a negative perspective, right? Because you may be trying to figure out, like, dang, why do I feel like I've been here before, right? You ever felt like you've been here before, right? You ever felt like you've always been advanced, like you always just been like on it compared to the people around you, that around your so-called age, right? See, you might be an old soul, as we call it, right? But the thing is that it's a lot of new souls. I don't really want to call it young and old, because that's not really truly what it is. But we can use the terminology, we can use the examples, right? But for an example, right, like an ancient soul, an ancient one would be somebody, and an ancient one doesn't necessarily have to have a very old soul. If you're ancient, you're ancient. It doesn't necessarily, it's about your energy. You feel me? You could be a very new soul, right, and still be an ancient one, right? It just depends on the energy, right? So respectfully, all due respect. So with what I want y'all to understand and overstand as well, right, is that an ancient one is somebody who is very tapped in with source. And not just very tapped in with source, they are also very, very intelligent, right? They're very tapped in, right? And also, they also are they're very wise, they're very aware of real reality, what reality really is, right? So a lot of us are ancient, y'all. A lot of us have been here like from like way back. You feel me? Before it was pollen on the planet, before it was winter, etc., right? So another thing too with us ancient ones is that you may start to realize that especially if you've already awakened, if you've awakened, you might start to remember, maybe slowly but surely, but you may start to remember like past experiences. Like you may start to remember like, oh yeah, we did used to dress like this. Or you may start to have these visions or these dreams, right? And you may start to realize like, hold on, bro. We are way more than what they told us we were, right? You may start to tap and activate your powers a lot more, right? And it's a lot more like, it can be a lot more smoother to tap into your powers and stuff, because we have powers when you're awakened. When you're not awake, when you haven't awakened, and all of the goddesses and gods, we're all awakened. But what I mean by awakened is that, in other words, reawakened. All of us are awakened because we're goddesses and gods. We naturally know the real information. It's just we have been programmed. So a lot of us have to reawaken, right? It's not like they just don't know the information. No, it's already within us, y'all. You don't gotta go read. We don't gotta read no book. We don't gotta do none of that. It's already within us, y'all. Why do you think a lot of us don't like reading books? And because your soul knows, your higher self knows the information is within you. You ain't gotta go read no book. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? No disrespect towards books. You feel me? But it's the honest truth. Respect for God, do respects. Yes. You may start to remember your past life. You may start to remember more about yourself and your tribe and your and our cultures, etc. You feel me? But it's a lot of different things with us ancient ones, right? You feel me? But look though, man, hope y'all familiar with today's video. For me, follow the Instagram at Humboldt 2 times. And I catch y'all familiar on the next one, man. Peace.